472.
Which coincidentally is the number of audio issues we have had in our years trying to record this pod.
I'm just going to name this episode Mic Drop.
Damn. Hello. How's it going, everybody?
We're hitting the ground running, JJ.
Yeah. How's it going, Jade? How's it going, JJ?
I mean, it was fine, and then it stopped being fine randomly, so I don't know, man.
I don't know either, dude. I feel you on the tech issues. We had to unplug some stuff over here to make room and way for construction, including the internet. And I was 5 minutes late to the podcast dealing with internet issues as the computer didn't recognize the network.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's never fun.
I did eventually, I think I mentioned this in our chat, but I don't know if we talked about it on here, but I did have to eventually say goodbye to Windows 10 on my main computer.
Oh. I thought
Windows
that you had found an extension for the security situations.
Yeah, but that only lasts a year, right? And, I had a weekend where I didn't have a lot going on, and this was like going to be the best time in the foreseeable future.
Decided to make the leap and debug as needed.
Because I knew I was going to need time after doing it to like spend a bunch of time to fix shit. And lo and behold, that was what was needed.
Yes. Have you discovered what is still the biggest annoyance, which is the fact that you get the truncated menu when you right click?
Oh, man.
I hate Windows 11 so much, you guys.
Welcome to hell. I don't get why it's hard to find things certain directions. So like if you want to know specifically like the length of an audio file, like what's the time length of this audio file? The truncated, first you got to go into the truncated menu. You got to find properties. Then you got to still go over to details or whatever. But if you just drop it into a window folder, it'll show you the duration right next to it.
Right, because it's one of the filter options in
one of the filter
folder.
options. And it's like, why have we not redone the properties menu in the last 50 years? Like, why is this still from Windows like XP?
Yeah, I think they're just kind of signaling to you shouldn't use that menu ever.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Windows 11 has a lot of hitches, dude. And I don't even understand how they can be dropping support for it when people still are not making Windows 11 specific software.
So there's a large enough proportion of computers that are just never going to be possible to upgrade because of the stupid technical requirements they added that serve effectively no purpose.
We started discussing that last time, and I was talking about the kids and their usable computer. I did come up with a solution for that. But yes, that was the problem with the kids' computer.
And so I mean, like very briefly, was the answer Linux or was it just something else?
The answer was laptops from Acer that were reconditioned.
Okay, yeah. Just get like inexpensive, technically Windows 11 capable, but they can't do too much kind of thing.
$230 laptops that can run Minecraft and do all their schoolwork.
That's all they need.
Perfect. Got to teach your kids about files and folders.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Better than an iPad, I think. To be honest, they'll learn more about using technology this way.
I saw today that Windows 11 had a bug in one of their recent updates that disables USB mice and keyboard when you're in the recovery mode.
That's helpful. So you boot into recovery mode and you're literally frozen to...
Yep, completely screwed. If you have a PS2 mouse or keyboard, it will work.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
But USB
we all got those.
That feels very specific.
And everyone has those lying around, of course.
Yeah, I've still got those because their polling rate is better, JJ.
Oh, yeah, Andy? Yeah, I know. I think I use one at work because my dock ran out of USB ports.
That's the most excellent version of why I have to use this mouse. That's great.
It's through an adapter, to be clear, right? It's a USB to PS2 adapter.
Right. Yes.
We live in the stupidest timeline, you guys.
Dude, it is the worst possible.
It's so bad. And I don't know if you saw, but like our offline discussion about Chrome came to a new head today as they dropped like a whole bunch of they dropped a whole bunch of features from Chrome, and Windows and Apple both came out and were like, you should maybe not use Chrome ever again.
Uh, you are they talking about like the support for all the extension stuff? That's happened a long time ago. No, what was the new thing?
They dropped a bunch of new security features. I guess they were like, yeah, we're not going to support any security features anymore.
Oh,
Feels
yeah.
bad.
I mean, I stopped using Chrome, so like a while ago. Like that's
Yeah. It's just
no one
I've
should
never
use
heard
Chrome.
of.
It sucks.
I've never heard of like Apple and Windows agreeing on anything, and both of them apparently on the 21st of October were like, yo, their privacy stuff is being phased out and this is bad for security. You shouldn't use this on your PC and or Apple computer. Joint statement.
Yeah. Google is a bad company now. I think it's like kind of safe to say.
Remember when they were like, don't be the bad guy? Wasn't that their slogan?
Their slogan for a while in like the early 2000s was "Don't be evil."
Oh yeah, I guess Alphabet is allowed to be evil, right?
Right, and that slogan was done away with a long time ago. Crucially,
Yeah. How's that go? You either die a hero.
Yes. Well, speaking of dying, I have read.
Rip, JJ. We hardly knew you.
I have finished reading a book that was pretty great, and I don't know. Have you guys actually read the graphic novel Road to Perdition?
Yes.
I have not.
Michael, you should read this book. It rules.
Okay, I will put it
It's
on
really
my
good.
list.
It's really good. I talked about that I was going to be reading it, and I think we're going to watch the movie this coming weekend, which I have seen the movie before, but I didn't know it was a novel or like a comic at the time. So yeah, dude, that movie rules. Like, what a great movie, or what a great book. Like, very good. So
I can't imagine you're going to be disappointed in the movie. I mean, I know you've seen it before, but
I liked it the first time, and I can't imagine liking it less. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to turn it on and be like, this is pretty faithful. It does a good job of the changes. And Paul Newman and Tom Hanks, what else could you ask for?
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like kind of excited to go see some sweet acting and also like Tommy Guns.
Who's the bad guy in that? He was just in that Star Wars show.
Jude Law. I was going to say Cillian Murphy, but it's the other guy, Jude Law.
Jude Law, yeah.
Yeah, man, great movie. So excited for that.
Jude Law makes a receding hairline look good, man. That guy is a cheat code. I don't understand.
You guys know what? Man, speaking of Jude Law, you know what movie I watched again not that long ago? Did we talk about it on this?
You say Sky Captain?
No.
Don't say Sky Captain. It's one of the. It is literally, I think, the only movie I've ever walked out of in a theater.
Really? Oh wow!
And then
we were too drunk to walk out, but like we didn't have a good time.
And then for some reason, I stupidly listened to somebody that told me it wasn't that bad, and I went back, and when they launched the rocket with the dinosaurs on it, I was like, I was right to have walked out of this movie.
Did you walk out again?
I stupidly watched the whole thing the second time, and I was like, they told me it got better, and I trust this person, and I never listened to them again about movies.
No, I watched Gattaca again not that long ago. What a great movie.
Banger, dude.
One of the all-time
top,
man.
All-time top, for sure. Invalid, dude.
Dude. It hits a little harder when you get older, you know? It's like you could appreciate it at a certain level, and then you come back and watch it again now, and you're like, oh, damn.
It also hits harder as we scream towards that future.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, man. If we're talking about TV real quick, I just want to insert One Punch Man coming back to Netflix, or no, to Hulu. Got me interested in an anime kick recently. And I turned on that Sakamoto Days on Netflix.
Okay. I haven't checked it out.
This one.
It's like, it's still kind of a parody. It's a little more subtle. of those shonen type things, but it kind of leans into being a little more serious. At the same time, like the main character can drop 150 pounds at will because he uses energy.
Mhm.
It's really silly in that aspect. But I feel like storytelling wise, it's actually a little more interesting than One Punch Man. One Punch Man is all about the like, I get this trope, I get that trope. You know,
Mhm.
Sakamoto Days is actually like, oh, what if we were kind of like parodying it with a good story? So there you go.
Cool.
I like it. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
and the
go ahead.
English isn't bad. Sorry, I was gonna say, and the English isn't bad.
So you're watching
I know.
dub?
I watched the first 3 episodes back and forth between the two, and then decided I could watch it as dub while I was doing other things.
Cool.
It was just fine.
Speaking of things I have been doing while doing other things, I have continued playing a bunch of Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles. Man, that
While
game
you're
is
doing
great.
what?
Anything else? Because
Oh.
the great part about it is I already know everything that's going on. So watching TV shows,
Baseball.
catching up on stuff. Yeah.
Plus, with the voice acting, you don't necessarily, if you turn the volume up, you don't have to read all the text.
So there's still a fair amount of non-voice acted stuff
Okay.
that you have to read. But yes, for all the main story stuff, it is nicely the voice acting is adding a good bit, which I am enjoying. But like I do a fair amount of grinding when I play that game, just because I like to. The customization is so fun, and like you need to battle a lot to unlock that stuff. So
How's that fast forward feature?
it's pretty good. I don't end up using it a ton, but it definitely is helpful when it's just like, all right, like they're just running across the field, just like, let's go, come on.
Yeah,
Like,
speed it up.
but yeah, really enjoying it, man. That game is just as broken as it always was, which is fun.
Nice.
But yeah, I definitely had it on while I've been watching games of either football and baseball. So which one would we prefer to talk about first?
You guys can chat about baseball because I just sit here crying in the corner watching
I mean,
Otani hit
I think we're all out of it
470
at this
mile
point.
home runs.
No, I mean, like, wait, like you're crying because you want him to do well? Aren't you full of rage that his team is just steamrolling the entire league?
I think he weeps for what might have been with the Angels.
I weep for an owner that could have not been trying to park his ass in an box getting welfare checks from the MLB instead of actually building a team.
I think I have just moved into full haterdom on the Dodgers. I just don't care who wins as long as they lose. That's the only thing that matters to me now.
I think they've exposed a major, and I don't know if a salary cap is the answer or not, but I think they've exposed a major flaw in thinking in salaries in the MLB for sure.
In
They
what
already,
sense?
yeah, like by building a dynasty that's going to destroy the league for 3 years.
Or
Like,
by mortgaging their future by paying a pittance to get a bunch of superstars now.
They're not even mortgaging their future though.
yeah, they're not
Like,
at all. That's the thing. Yeah.
that's the thing they have exposed is like, by the way, we've already paid off Otani's contract through the rest of his contract because of how much we're winning and how popular the team is now. So that's the exposure, and that's the crazy part to me is like everyone thought they were insane, and then it goes, well, we're gonna get 10 years out of this guy, and we've already like made enough money. Why don't we keep picking up the expensive pieces that people aren't willing to pay for, and prove that this does work? It's better. It's a better version of what the Yankees used to do. The Yankees
Yeah,
couldn't
for sure.
maintain it.
Yeah. I think I think that's still a misnomer. Like, I think the Yankees could maintain it, but the owners were just greedy and decided to take the money, right? Like, there's no doubt in my mind that the Yankees have millions and millions and millions of dollars they could spend on more players, but don't.
Yeah. I wonder why they weren't seeing enough return to continue spending, right? Like the Dodgers went into it on a spending spree without backing for these ideas of like, we're going to spend $1 billion on a player over X years, and everyone thought they were insane. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, there's plenty of money for that. And by the way, money now is cheaper than money in the future. So always spend it now, you know?
I mean, some of it might be that they have shown no desire and no need to build themselves a shiny new stadium.
I think that's definitely part of it, right? I think the Yankees have spent a bunch of money on upgrades to Yankee Stadium over the years, and luxury and whatever. And Dodgers have done that too to some degree, but not nearly as much as a lot of other teams, right?
But right, Dodger Stadium has the history, right? So it's one of those stadiums that is it's a landmark just for being what it is, right? Like Wrigley Field. They're never going to build some big shiny new.
And I think crucially, like part of the Dodgers' success is they have marketed themselves as a brand better than the Yankees have in other places, right?
Mm-hmm.
For like a long time, the Yankees was like synonymous with baseball in America for like, kind of a pretty long time, right?
Yeah.
In the 90s, people just wore Yankees hats,
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even watch baseball necessarily. But
yeah, it's
that
like
is
the early 2000s and the Red Sox too. I think.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yep.
But the Dodgers have done that. People just wear Dodgers hats now, and they're like barely fans of baseball. But also, they have started like people in other countries wear Dodgers hats now as fashion, and that's the thing that I don't know that the Yankees ever really broke through on.
I think what's funny to me, Michael mentioning the stadium is like a part of their identity, so they don't have to spend as much money like building a new stadium. That's the third oldest stadium in the league, right?
Yeah.
Do you know who has the fourth oldest stadium in the league?
The Angels.
The Angels. And it's only by 4 years. So that quote unquote historic stadium is like, oh yeah, this is, their team and this is their identity. And then 4 years later, you got a stadium in Anaheim, and the owner is so peeved off that he can't build a new stadium that he's just sitting there parking his butt on the land and doing nothing with the team.
I think
very funny.
I think the difference, right, is that, if you showed someone a picture of Dodger Stadium, they're like, oh, iconic. And then you show someone a picture of Angel Stadium, they're like, it looks like a stadium.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Their fault for building it in a parking lot in Anaheim, right? Like, I don't know like how you fix that problem.
I mean, you could spend a tenth of what it would cost to build a new stadium and retrofit
upgrade
this
it,
one,
yeah,
and make it look classic. And you could take half the, there's that giant open area behind the stadium that looks at the freeway and the mountains and the arc, and you could like build a huge thing back there if you wanted to that connected to all those buildings, and you could make it look nicer, like for a tenth of what it would cost, right?
Yep.
I don't know. He's
he doesn't get
for a
to
buyout.
He doesn't get to tax scam a city by doing that, right? So that's why that'll never happen.
Yep. Mm-hmm. He's just waiting for the buyout now. It's just that's why I cry over the Ohtani thing was never gonna stick, because he had no serious interest, and it was like once the Fox TV money dried up on the Ohtani deal, it was over.
I think it's the same with every team, right? And I don't know that a salary cap is the answer either, but a salary floor is badly needed for competitiveness in this league.
1,000%, I agree with that part of the statement, which is like, you need to be spending money. You cannot do this anymore of just like, what is it?
It's like the Mariners, or not Mariners, sorry, Tampa
the
Bay.
Marlins,
the Marlins and the Rays and Pittsburgh and some of these teams
sitting there collecting welfare checks.
Yeah, it's bad, and the A's aren't that much better, right? Like,
the A's are bad too. Mm-hmm. But it's funny because the A's got credit for being like, how little can you spend and win? And I translated that to like, but what if you spend more and win more in certain places like Boston?
And and then the A's were like, well, how little can you spend? And they took the win part off, and then got in trouble, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. MLB is depressing. I just am so depressed with the fact that I'll make a prediction right here. I think the Dodgers are going to win in 4 games. None of the games are going to be particularly close, and it's just going to be a steamroll, sadly.
I wanted the Mariners to go. It would have been cool.
I did too. I did too.
Now I think the Mariners not going is going to hurt the series more than if the Dodgers won in 4 over the Mariners, to be honest. Like, I think a lot of people wanted to see the Mariners get to the World Series after such a huge playoff drought.
I think I think the Blue Jays haven't gone in a long time too, and they've had a lot of expectations. They have some cool players. Like, I think the problem is just the Dodgers are too good, and it's going to be a blowout, which is sad.
Yeah.
Well, I think I saw 32 years for Toronto.
That's pretty long. I don't think it's as long as the Mariners, though.
Correct. The Mariners have never won, so.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about the Dodgers other than make people pay for good players in other cities.
Well, I think the thing that really is, so I think the root of the problem is regional sports networks, right? They funnel money to specific teams for their rights only, and that team gets all the TV revenue. Just an inherently unfair way to give revenue out because only the big market teams get it, right? Like the Yankees have one, the Boston has one, the Dodgers have one, the Mets have one, but like no one of any small size team can stand up an entire TV network and prop it up with just their stuff. And so the solution has to be MLB has to take back those rights and like sell the league as a package, right? And distribute all that revenue across all the teams. The problem is the Dodgers or whatever.
TV, huh?
That would be one solution, right? Or sell it, as a group to ESPN or who the hell ever, whatever.
The ESPN's out, dude. I don't think ESPN's gonna last
sell it to,
a decade.
Andrew, sell it to Apple TV like F1 did for $750 million.
I wrote down and talked to you about F1 TV going to Apple.
We'll talk about that in a bit.
Crazy.
But that's the solution. The problem is all the contracts and stuff around with that is like really hard to do. And like, then are the Dodgers going to want to give up part of their money to the other owners? Hell no. And so then there's going to be a whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm. They're going to say we're a bigger market team. We should get more money. And they shouldn't be wrong, right?
But they do already get more money. Like that's the thing is like you already get more money by being the bigger market team. You get more merch, you get more tickets, you get more, all this stuff.
But like, in the MLB, all that stuff is shared, right? Like every Ohtani jersey you buy is split evenly amongst the entire league.
Right. The problem is they're splitting the wrong things. The jersey money, the ticket money, the stuff like that is peanuts compared to $500 million for TV deals, right?
That's negotiated by the Players Association, though. So they're not going to be able to walk that back and be like, okay, well, because we're going to do the TV rights differently, we're taking the money out of the $130,000 players that are on the Marlins pockets for every Ohtani jersey we're selling, so that the TV rights can go stacked up in different ways and not profit to those people. The Players Association is not going to go for that.
Just like they're not going to go for the salary cap, which the league also needs, right? Like my point is it's a complicated problem, but that is the root of the inequity, in my opinion, are these deals that only benefit very few select big market teams. And that's how they stay that way, right? Because it's a line of funding that no other team can access. Like besides also being popular, which, helps.
I'm going to float an idea. You guys tell me if you think I'm wrong. Maybe there are too many teams.
What, you're just going to contract Pittsburgh and one of the Tampa Bay teams or something?
I could see contracting at least 4 teams. Yeah. The Midwest used to have one team, the Cardinals. It was like 6 states worth of people listened to the Cardinals.
I think more likely, like very few people listened to the Cardinals, and those other 5 states didn't care.
No, I mean the radio. You could find interviews about this, but the Cardinals were very, very popular because of radio broadcasts that reached all the way up to like Chicago, all the way down to Texas. They were a very popular team, and that's why they only had one in the Midwest for a long time. I'm just I'm thinking now that, everything is so ubiquitously available on TV. If you moved from Chicago to Florida for your retirement, you might have switched teams and watched your Chicago team when they came to play your Florida team, but on the TV or on the radio, you'd only be able to get the Florida team, right? And now you just watch the Chicago team all the time. You don't have any interest in going to the Florida team games and whatever. So I don't know. Maybe there's just too many. Like, why are there two teams in some of these places?
Yeah, the regionality is lost a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't know that you need to contract the size of the league if you put things in place like a salary floor, right, to try and raise competitiveness across the board, right? If you're not going to do anything else and teams are just going to skate by on doing the bare minimum and put out a bad product, like, yeah, that's an argument um, for trimming the fat. But I think if you put things in place that try and raise the level of competitiveness across the board, then you can retain the number of teams that you have.
And I think the scuttlebutt is MLB is looking to expand, actually, right? They want
They
Nashville
are.
and
That was the
Utah.
last I heard.
That's also what I heard, and that's semi why I brought it up. Yeah, they were talking about converting Utah to a real team. Although they love the bees out there, so I don't know.
I don't know either, man. Well, from a sport with problems to a different sport with problems. How are we doing in football, gentlemen?
I mean, the sport problems are everyone getting injured. I feel terrible for some of these players this year. It's like I don't know if it's the worst year ever, but it's bad.
Mike Evans.
Oh my
A lot of high
God.
profile.
Yeah, that one was painful to see this past weekend, but yeah, just emblematic of the problem.
He just got obliterated.
Yeah, it is really sad.
I mean, I don't know. Flag football. They're talking about making a league for flag football, so something's got to give on the injury front here.
On the Mike Evans tip, if either of you have him, I think you can just safely drop him at this point. I don't think he's going to be back, and even if he is back, it will not be relevant.
I did pick him up 2 weeks ago to stash him in the Guillotine League, and yeah, there's only 5 weeks left of the Guillotine League, so he's getting a good old dropski.
I was going to say, even if you're playing season long, I think he only comes back. If they bring him back this season, he would only be back for the last 2 games of the regular season or something, the fantasy championship, effectively. And you can't hold a guy for that.
Well, you also can't play him the first week back. Look, I did not play him this week. He came back, and it's
that worked out for you.
Thing that I did. Yeah. In general, you almost never play a guy that comes back
the first
from
time
an injury the first week. Yeah, even if you look back and you're like, he got 30 points, 90% of the time they don't.
So, Andy, you are still alive? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'm not cut. We are not cut, gentlemen.
Hey, all right.
We are alive. We are projected much higher than we used to be in terms of score. We're projected near the top this week, but people have buys that they have not secured their rosters completely for yet. So I don't know that that's entirely true. Yeah.
A lot of big teams on bye this week. Lions, Seahawks, more that I forgot. The Lions and Seahawks are impacting me specifically quite hard. So.
Oh, really? Yeah. I actually, in that specific league, do not have a buy problem at all. Like, David Montgomery hasn't been really pulling his weight recently. So,
in a hilarious twist of fate, I am playing the guy who has Jackson Smith and Jigba. This week.
That's a good week to play him.
However, my Jahmyr Gibbs is out, so
so it bounces out a little bit.
The problem is he has Jonathan Taylor, so
man,
I'm in trouble. I'm in danger.
The JSN holder in our league is currently projected at the bottom. So, oh man, he also has Amon Ra. Holy how!
Oh, wow,
he is gonna have a tough week.
So maybe some big names on the wire next week, huh?
Well, he just got CeeDee Lamb back, but Dallas has Denver this week, so good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Giants put up pretty decent points on Denver, so
Yeah, that's true. They're still ranked the toughest for receivers in the league. I don't know. All right,
yeah.
did everybody say how they did this week? I mean, before we get into what options we got.
I mean,
Uh,
for me, both pendulums swung in the opposite direction. So the league where I got blown out last week, I won pretty convincingly, and the league where I won, I got blown out really badly. So
I did win this week, despite my opponent having Jamar Chase putting up 1,000,000 points, because
Wow,
Jahmyr Gibbs put up 1,000,000 points. So
that's
basically,
impressive, dude.
Jahmyr Gibbs and Quinshon Judkins carried my team, and kind of everyone else was also available, but didn't
Yeah,
really do anything.
yeah,
yeah,
crazy.
Like I needed his quarterback to brick, and Mayfield did not do good. So that was kind of it.
It's funny that you bring up Jamar Chase. Our pickup last week was Jamar
Jamar
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah, so we did fine. Yeah,
I was
those are
I would
pretty good.
say keep firing him up. But
Yeah.
yeah, what's the new meat?
Okay, so I dropped T to pick up Jamar. It sounds like maybe I should pick T back up, just to keep him out of other people's hands if I can. Um, Players that came off that roster. Are we ready? Caleb Williams, George Pickens, Michael Pittman Jr., Zach Charbonnet, Cam Scadaboo, Sam
Like,
Laporta, Travis Etienne, Justin Jefferson, Tony Pollard, Hassan Haskins, Luther Burden, Khalil Shakir, Darius Slayton, Brock Bowers, Lamar Jackson, George Kittle.
so I mean, Scadaboo is obviously going to do well there. Um, but I don't think you got a ton of money to be thrown around, right?
Yeah, so the league standing on money currently. We've got six teams left. We got our guy in first who's just hoarding cash. Good for him. We got $600. We got two players at 300, a player at 200, and two players at 100 and change, which is one of us. One of us is that.
Yeah.
So we're near the bottom of the pecking order here on available cash.
So I think your plan this week is kind of just going to be to try to hoard and stay out of the bottom. I don't like Scadaboo is probably the best target there, but
Yeah, so
it's not worth spending much money on him. So like, a couple dollars, like 2 or 3, and just see if you can outbid people that accidentally bid $1,
yeah, the question is whether or not you think George Kittle's a stash.
He got literally 0 points this week.
He
Literally
had 2
0.
targets
He
on
played
his first
and
week
had
back.
no points.
Right, yeah. That's why it's a question of whether he's a stash.
Who's your current tight end?
Warren, but he's got to go on bye eventually.
Yeah, but like you could pick up any tight end and get 6 points,
Sure.
Like I don't know that you want to spend your hard-earned
Ash
money
is
on a
more valuable
question
at this
mark.
point. Yeah.
Yeah, is
Yeah,
he when I'm asking about a stash, I'm asking about a few dollars here. Nothing major.
but I don't think even a few dollars because it's a question mark, right? Like, is
Okay.
he good? Maybe. I don't know. It'd be
Right.
one thing if he was posting, if he's going to like, 2 targets. Okay, that's not very many. Like, but if he had like 8 targets, but just didn't come down with any for whatever reason, right? And you're
Sure.
like, all right, this dude is in, right?
Yeah.
But the offense on that team is Christian McCaffrey and no one else, I think.
Well, Christian McCaffrey did better this week because Kittle was back. People had to guard Kittle.
Right. And again, like, they're not going to. Why change the game plan that's working, right?
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
Right.
so I would say
okay.
Brock Bowers maybe, but I don't know what his injury situation is.
We also got Sam Laporta.
Yeah, so like Laporta has not been doing too hot. He did pretty bad this past week.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the Lions have been the Gibbs and Montgomery show, dude. Like, Amon-Ra gets his, and then like Gibbs and Montgomery, and then kind of no one else on that team.
Yeah, they just put it on the ground and force teams to try and stop them.
Or then they throw it to Gibbs and Montgomery. Like, that's the real messed up thing is like, Laporta barely gets the targets.
The previous 2 weeks he did okay, so he's probably going to be up and down.
His points aren't, his targets are bad though. He got TDs. That's why he looks okay.
Okay. So he's not worth $1, but maybe he's worth a try and get him for free.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think this is where you're at with tight ends, right? How many teams you said are left? 6, 7?
6. Yeah, 6 teams.
There's going to be a top 10 tight end every week on the waiver wire. If you need a guy and when your guy goes on by, you just find the best dude who's on the waivers.
Yeah.
And don't spend money.
Don't spend money. If you think there's important here.
If you think there's a guy that you can get, for free to keep out of other people's hands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But it's not worth money.
So are we talking about trying to get any of these guys for free? Yes. We're trying to throw $5 at Scataboo. We'll put a free claim in on Charbonnet, maybe a free claim on
who do you have as like your mid-level or low-end running backs, right? Because Charbonnet is not great either.
No, I know. But we've got a decent stacked starting roster, but our bench is not deep. So here's the roster. You guys ready? Okay. We got Baker, Jamar, AJ Brown, Devin Achin, DeAndre Swift, Tyler Warren, and then we start to get into like questionable territory here. Cortland Sutton, doing all right, but up and down, Jordan Mason, middle of the road, 10 to 12 point guy.
Yeah.
Zay Flowers,
big
not
Q.
as big, big old question mark without Lamar. He's been pretty hit/miss.
Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins, just a total.
Dobbins is like a
turd fest.
8 point guarantee, but that's like his ceiling also.
Yeah. So David Montgomery, who has been great up until the last 2 weeks. Oh no, not really. He's okay. So he's 13, 29, 1, 28, 5. Also not consistent. Garrett Wilson, who was doing well but is injured, so he probably won't play for the next 2 weeks. We got Ken Walker, who's worse than Charbonnet.
Yeah, Charbonnet gets the passing work, which is why he's better. But in terms of yardage, they're similar, which is sad.
Alvin Kamara, also inconsistent. And Harold Fannin Jr.,
who's a tight end and is doing pretty decent, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So we've got some starting depth, but we don't have bench depth.
You could kick like Walker or one of your other worse running backs to the curb for Charbonnet.
And Charbonnet's been doing all right? He's been doing
again, this is all no money pickups. Like you're not spending even $1. This is just like whoever other people don't grab.
Right.
But yeah, Charbonnet or
he had Etienne. Maybe.
How's Etienne been?
Not great. What about Justin Jefferson as a free pickup? Yeah, Justin Jefferson would be all right as a pickup at the.
Yeah, he's good. Someone will spend money on him, I assume. But yeah, if no one does, take him. Like he's good.
Yeah. Khalil Shakir.
I have Shakir, and he's done okay numbers. He's another one of those players who always gets his points, but his floor and his ceiling seem to be pretty close together.
Right. Well, that's where we're at, guys. So I think we're all kind of agreed that it's try and get some pickups, but maybe we can't spend on them. Like George Pickens would be great to add to the roster, but I don't think I can afford to spend on George Pickens.
And actually, I think George Pickens is a trap with CeeDee Lamb back. His points are going to start nosediving.
Oh, that's true.
And maybe not like
you're right.
Maybe not a ton, right? Yeah. Because Dallas does nothing but offense, like they got nothing else. So
yeah, but when you need every point,
yeah, it's like if you got to pick the best receiver in Dallas, you're picking CD, right? And so then that's
I think a lot of these people are worth putting in free or $1 waiver, maybe at the most. But I don't think anything more than that. I think we can make it through this week just fine. I'm
I
not
think
too
that's
worried about it.
I think your goal should be spend like 5 or less total dollars, and put in cheap bids out there on a bunch of people.
'Cause
If you get them, great. If you don't, oh well. And then
if
move
this
on with whatever you can get.
if this projected team can't get out of this week, we've got Drake London, CD Lamb, JSN, and Amon-Ra St. Brown hitting the wire
So you're going to see a lot of money spent if they're the ones that go out.
the next week. Yeah.
People trying to shore up to make a last push.
And remember, JSN is the number 1 receiver or number 2 receiver in fantasy, something like that.
Behind Amon-Ra, right? But so both of them together.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And this guy's in danger. So he's got to spend money this week to stay alive. He has to.
Yeah, I will assume that he must, especially as bye weeks are hitting now. Like
he's
people
going to be
with the
going all in
highest,
on Scattaboo, right? Like
you would think people with the highest like scoring players as they start to go on by are gonna have to spend to keep up, and your goal is to kind of float your way back towards the top without having to overspend your budget.
I think we did it last week. I really think people were. I mean, we came in and got Jamar pretty affordably, considering that I still have money left.
Yeah,
it worked out really well. I've asked for more. So, all right. Well, I've taken up too much of your time, gentlemen. Sorry.
no, it's fun. I think we're enjoying it.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun managing this together because JJ, you've talked about Guillotine for so long, but the back and forth of the actual money is fascinating.
It's a very different kind of strategy.
Yeah, I enjoy the Guillotine leagues, and this allows me to live vicariously since I was cut so early this year.
Sorry.
No one's fault except my own,
Fair enough.
Is what it was. But moving on, Michael, what have you been up to, man?
So I played something new last week. I told you guys about Sphere's Legacy, Shrine's Legacy, excuse me. This week I have also dipped my toe into something new. Something that's very short. I'm trying to remember where I saw it advertised. An indie showcase, I think. Because it's a little indie game, and it's called I think it's called O. It is 3 O's and with an umlaut over the first one.
I'm sitting here waiting to type it for the show notes, and I'm just like I have no idea what he's talking.
It is capital O, and the first O has an umlaut over it.
Wow. All right.
It's as much a word as it is it's a symbolic representation of your character.
Symbolic representation of your character. You're gonna have to delve into that one a little bit deeper.
It's easier to see if you pull up a picture, but your character is a little caterpillar, and you trail bombs behind you.
It's like a caterpillar with bear ears, and so then the O with the umlaut is the little bear head, and then these are the little body.
Okay, I've now pulled it up and I get it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at the store page.
Yeah, so it's a little Metroidvania puzzle solver. You start out as just the head, and very quickly you find your first bomb, and so you start exploring, basically making your way between puzzle rooms.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this looks more room based than Metroid open map situation.
Yeah, so you do very quickly start to open up a warp system that lets you kind of warp around from place to place. But it's very good at, so far at least, and it's not a long game. I looked it up on how long to beat, and it sounds like at most it's only like 3 hours. But it does a very good job of sort of steadily introducing you to mechanics and forcing you to sort of rethink the ways that you can use these bombs. You don't have the ability to jump, right? So your only way of moving in any direction, other than just walking, is to propel yourself with bomb blasts, right? So up, down, left, and right. the bomb
You take
pushes you in
damage from
whatever
your bomb?
direction. No, you don't. You are immune to your own bomb blasts.
Okay.
So you can take damage from other things in the environment, but not the bombs. So you use the fact that the bombs just push you to blow up blocks or to move yourself across pits, or to as a jump. Because when you put the bomb down, you automatically climb up on top of it.
Hmm.
But it's fun. It's definitely engaging the way that they sort of breadcrumb you into getting more and more creative with the things that you can do with the bombs.
Like you
Cool.
can interact with the map, or the bomb does more.
Um, a little bit of both. So they'll start putting blocks that you can break slightly out of your reach, in different ways as you start to move through the game, and it forces you to sort of rethink the things that you knew, or more importantly didn't know that you could do with the bombs in order to reach the blocks and blow them up and basically
Mm.
manipulate the environment. And they'll do things like you'll figure out a new way to use the bombs, and if you're thinking about it, it'll clue you into something that you saw that you passed already on the map, right? And you have to go back there to progress to the next area.
So, like, very puzzle, but like grand puzzles, kind of
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah, very sort of self-contained, but the even in being each sort of room puzzle being self-contained, a lot of them have a lesson to be learned that then gets applied elsewhere to help you keep progressing. So
Sounds
it
pretty
is
cool.
nice. It's nice in its minimalism. It's really just it's 3 buttons, right? Or 2 buttons in the directional pad, right? You plant the bomb with one button, you detonate the bomb with another, and you move.
Right.
It doesn't really look like this, but I kind of get Animal Will vibes from this game.
It's just the
The
colors, I think.
color palette and the fact that you're wandering through this cave system definitely remind you of that. But it's a little bit like a Metroidvania that combines, what were the 2 games that it made me think of? Um, Bomberman with Baba Is You.
Bomberman and Baba Is You. Not what I get from this video, but okay.
I see where you're getting
I
the
see
Baba Is You
Bomberman.
stuff, though,
I see
because I think
Bomberman, I guess.
there's a lot of Andy. Have you played Baba Is You?
No, it's on my to-do list. I really do want to play it. I was thinking about it on the Steam Deck, but I thought you had to like type stuff or move stuff around
No, it's
No,
just
it should work really well on the deck.
because
it's
you have to put words together and stuff.
they've
Yeah, but it's
and
not through typing.
yeah, it's
Okay.
all just pushing. So you just push
Okay.
blocks.
All right.
Uh,
This I see Bomberman off the top of my head. I do.
Andy, you should play Baba Is You. You should make your kids play Baba Is You.
Okay.
It's like
All those
That's a
would sound
good
good.
that's a good mental gymnastics.
yeah, just like really. Baba Is You is fiendish. Man, that game is hard.
It really is. After the first couple of worlds, it really makes you stop and think.
You know what's
Oof.
funny is with the little flag at the beginning of the levels, I'm like getting the Minesweeper vibe.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's not, but it's just funny, like aesthetically, kind of.
Yeah, the flags are an interesting mechanic because they act as checkpoints for you. So there are things in the environment that can kill you that aren't other than your bombs, and so you jump back to the last flag that you tripped. But the flags are also gates, and there are certain things that you have to move around that you can't take past the flags.
Mm, interesting. All right.
And there's one of the things that I found most recently that is very interesting is that there's a running clock that you can access in the menu, And so everything in the game is happening in real time. So you can use that to start doing very interesting things with some of the puzzles, because when you plant a bomb, it stays where you planted it, no matter what you do or where you go, unless you die. It stays there until you detonate it.
How do
So
you just
you
detonate
can
it with the
start,
second button?
yeah, with the second button. So you can start wandering around the map, right, and interact with different things and just leave your bomb where it is. Um, and so if you run into a situation where you need to get a bomb to yourself, um, then maybe there are ways for you to creatively position the bomb and then use the warp system to get somewhere else before your bomb gets there.
Interesting. Yeah, this looks cool. Do you think you're going to continue with it?
Yeah, like I said, it's short. It's only 3 hours for the completionist time to finish. Not that I see much there. That's that seems like it's going to be outside the normal path.
We're not
Only
we
3
don't have a lot
hours.
of hidden walls situations, right?
No, not really. There may be one or two, but it seems there's backtracking, but it still seems like progression is relatively steady in a forward direction.
And the game seems minimalist enough that it's probably hard to hide too much, real BS stuff. So
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'll keep going with it and see how it wraps up. It's definitely it it does a good job of making you want to see what the next twist is going to be, right? How are they gonna play with the mechanics next?
Mhm.
And eventually you get a second bomb too, which adds a whole nother layer of complexity to the things that you can do.
Double bomb.
very good. Well, I don't want to get Andy wound up right before the end of the podcast, so I think we'll save what you've been up to mostly for another pod, perhaps, Andy.
Okay.
Because I get a feeling you're just going to rant, and it's probably reasonable.
I could take a day. I could take a day or 6 to process it, and I'll have a more complete update in the next pod. Or incomplete, and then you're going to hear about it for 48 minutes straight.
Ooh. There's your teaser, folks.
Well, if people want to get at us, where could they?
They could email us at podcast@weweregamers.com. They could also find us on Facebook and on Blue Sky @weweregamers. And they should go check out our YouTube, youtube.com/@weweregamers.
You want a teaser?
Tease
Always.
us.
We found concrete poured over concrete.
What?
That feels like it's not to code.
There's your teaser.
That's like the thing where you hear like people remodeling. Oh, look, they put this crappy stuff over this beautiful hardwood. Look how we've rescued this home or whatever. And then, but this is like the moron version of that.
It certainly was a solution.
It is.
Certainly was something that was done.
It's all the things that are. That's all I have to say.